Up with KREM begins now.
Hi there, everyone. Thank you for joining us here on Up with KREM. And before we get back out to Regan for a county courthouse update, we are hearing from a personal defense attorney. Stephen Graham here is with us. Thank you for joining us to talk a little bit more about Kevin Coe's possible release. So, Stephen, again, thank you for being here with us. Of course. We appreciate you. But what do people need to understand about a case such as this one?
Yeah, well, there's a lot at stake for the parties involved in this sort of thing. Fundamentally, it's good to remember that it's a civil proceeding. It's not a criminal sentence that he's finished up with. Is he a danger to the community? And the psychologist, gave the opinion that he is no longer a danger. Not that he's been cured or changed his way of thinking, but just that he's so feeble due to health problems and advanced age that he's no longer a danger to the community. And so the judge is going to hear from the parties on that and kind of make a decision as to what to do, whether to release him. But it looks like he'll be out, though. Well,
we know there's expected to be some victim statements this morning as well. Yeah. And Regan, she actually had a chance to speak with Shelly Monahan, a victim of Coe's as well. And so when we talk about something like that, you mentioned there's a lot of unknowns about a situation like that. So although it may be at this particular point that it may seem like he's released, is there something that can happen in that courtroom today that may change the judge's mind?
Well, it would really have to be something unexpected. You never do know. This doesn't come up too often, but the judge, in theory, could ask the state to have Mr. Coe evaluated by a third professional for a third opinion. There's already been a second opinion, but I think the judge will politely listen and then defer to the Attorney General, who says that she wants him released.
And for a case like this one as well, I know this got a lot of national attention, especially during the time this was taking place, a couple decades ago. And I know judges may not be listening to a lot of outside noise, but is that ever a factor when it comes to something like this, especially with the media attention, and then also just people who may have been around at that time and maybe they have comments on Facebook or whatever it may be about just, hey, this is a person they believe shouldn't have the option to be released?
Yeah, well, it's this case certainly haunted Spokane in a way that really no other case ever did. And it really looms large over this generation that kind of went through it, the people in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and really, haunts the community to this day if people were around for that. The fact that this, a sexual predator that's so prolific right in our backyard, I think is just so fundamentally disturbing. No one ever really heals from that viewpoint. But the judge, I think, has to kind of, tune that out and look at the expert opinions and not make a decision based on public perception. I mean, that's really, she's kind of charged with having to ignore that the best she can, I guess.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to have coverage here throughout the entire morning. And Stephen, we just want to say again, thank you for joining us here this morning to provide a little bit more context on this particular case. So again, Stephen, we appreciate you.